Hey guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley, and I want to welcome you back to yet another video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats and music of this week, so you have to stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's dive into our first beat of this week. And my first beat of this week, I have to talk about XXL's 2016 Freshman Class. This is the 9th edition of their freshman cover, and everybody knows that the most hottest up-and-coming rappers, they make that freshman cover, and that's like solidification, that's recognition from XXL, letting them know, look, we see you, we watching you, and it helps boost their career. Now every year we all know that people, they get upset depending on who's on the cover or who's not on the cover. So this year was no different. So first things first is I just want to read a list of all of the people that made this year's freshman class, and I'll let you know individually one by one as I read their names if I knew them, if I didn't know them, or what did I think about them. So the first person that I want to read off is Lil Yachty, and I'm just gonna let y'all know I don't know who he is. The next person is Designer. Now we all know Designer. He has his big hit Panda, and we're all waiting to see what is he gonna do to follow up. Now I will be honest, I am a little bit skeptical when it comes to Designer because I've seen him do like Tim Westwood freestyles and stuff like that, and I really honestly, for what I like, I'm not too impressed, but I don't want to count him out without a doubt. I mean, and y'all know me, I'm Brooklyn all day every day, and he's from Brooklyn, so but I mean, he has one of the hottest singles out, and it's been out for months. He signed to good music, so I can understand why he made this year's freshman class. The next person I want to talk about is Dave East. Now when I woke up Monday morning and I saw this cover and I saw that Dave East made the cover, I was so happy. I've been following him, listening to him for a minute. I love when he does his East mixes, which is when he remixes other people's songs and he does like his own style and twist to it. He's just dope. I feel like he's one of the very few artists that we have that still represents like that New York sound, gives you like that New York rap. He's co-signed by Nas, and Nas is definitely one of the greatest New York rappers. So I absolutely love Dave East, and I feel like he is deserving of his spot on this cover without a doubt. And the next person is Denzel Curry. I don't know who he is. G Herbo, I know who Herb is, and I feel like Herb is definitely deserving of his spot on this cover as well, holding it down for Chicago. The next person is Lil Uzi Vert. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I've heard his name, I've seen people talk about him, I think he just had like a project come out not too long ago. I've seen people talking about his project, but me personally, I've never heard a song. I really don't know too much about him. The next person is Lil Dicky. I've heard of Lil Dicky before, but I'll be honest, I don't know not one song. I don't know too much about him neither. Anderson .Paak, never heard of him. 21 Savage, never heard of him. And Kodak Black. Now we all know Kodak Black. I think he back in jail, but luckily he was out at the time to be featured on the cover of XXL. So yeah, that's the 2016 freshman class. If you guys suggest anybody that was on this cover that I said I did not know of, I don't know a song, if it's any song that you may know by them that you like, or something I should listen to familiarize myself with them, definitely comment below and let me know. What I will say is that, like I said before, everybody's always vocal about why they're mad or why they're happy about who's on the cover, who's not on the cover. And I feel like definitely this year XXL was pretty much more vocal about the reasons as to why they choose the artists that they choose to make the final cut for the freshman class. I've seen throughout the week that XXL, they was kind of like reposting old covers from years back, and showing the artists that they featured to let y'all know that we know what the hell we doing when we pick these artists, because they like big names. Had people like Kendrick Lamar was a part of the freshman class one year. We had Diggy Simmons. Diggy, he doesn't do too much music now, but during his time Diggy was popping. Kevin Gates, Kevin Gates, he dropped the album this year. Like, it's just so many people that they've had part of the freshman class in the past who've definitely represented and had successful careers, or are having successful careers right now. So I mean, you gotta give it to them. I mean, I always look at the freshman class as a learning opportunity to familiarize myself with artists I may have not known of before. I mean, it's happened in the past. So, I mean, you guys could comment below. Let me know what you think about this year's freshman class, whether you was here for it, whether you was not here for it, who you would have liked to see, who you didn't want to see, or whatever the case may be. I mean, honestly, when I saw Dave East on there, I was satisfied, because I knew that definitely he was somebody that I know, definitely deserving, definitely representing for New York, that classic New York rap sound. So I was satisfied. But other than that, we're going to move on to my second beat of this week, and I have to talk about Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne, he was making headlines this week, and unfortunately, it wasn't really a good situation. So earlier this week, he had a hosting out in Milwaukee, you know, just doing the regular schmegula, and then news broke that while he was midair, while he was flying from Milwaukee back to California, he had suffered a seizure. Now, we all know that he suffered seizures in the past, but I never heard about him like in the air and he had to make an emergency landing. And I had read on TMZ that he had refused, you know, medical attention, and when he did his landing and stuff like that, that he also suffered a second seizure on his way to the hospital inside the ambulance. But since then, his team has released a statement letting us know that he is in good spirits. He is, you know, stable, and, you know, he's doing better. You know that not too long ago that he had admitted that he suffers from epilepsy, and that's the cause of all of his frequent seizures that he has and whatnot. I know a lot of people see him with the double cups and stuff or whatever when he's in a club, and they just automatically say, yo, he's drinking lean, and the lean is the reason why he's having all of these seizures. Now, I don't know what's in his cup, because I ain't never there when he drinking. But, I mean, just, you know, keep Lil Wayne in his prayers. I just saw something from his daughter on Instagram not too long ago where she was saying, you know, I love you, I'm glad you're feeling better and stuff like that. So, I just want to wish Lil Wayne a speedy recovery. I mean, I'm sure that Young Money drama that's going on has some stress or whatever the case may be, but I'm glad to hear that he's doing better. So we're going to move on to our third beat of this week, and I want to talk about VH1 Hip Hop Honors. Now, about maybe 2-3 videos ago, I let you guys know that Hip Hop Honors was returning to VH1 this year after its 6-year hiatus, and I let you know that this year's show will be honoring just the women of hip hop, you know, the trailblazers, the women that, you know, set the record for all of the female artists now that, you know, because hip-hop is like a male-dominated industry, and, you know, you just want to pay, you know, your respects to those who, you know, set the record. So since then, they have released their honorees this week, and the first honoree that they announced was none other than Queen Latifah, and I definitely think she is well deserving. The first thing I thought about was her song Ladies First and UNITY. Like, she's definitely a pioneer in hip-hop, and aside from her being honored, she would also serve as executive producer of Hip Hop Honors along with her entertainment company. So without a doubt, I'm here. The next person that they announced that they will be honoring is Missy Elliott. Now, we know recently Missy Elliott, she just had a comeback with her WTF. So I'm excited. Hopefully, you know, after this honor, we'll get, you know, more music from her, because, you know, she started the momentum, so we need her to follow up, because we definitely missed her, and she's definitely a pioneer as well, especially when it comes to her sound. Like, no one sounds like Missy. Like, no one can, you know, copy her style. Like, she's just an individual that cannot be duplicated. So I'm excited that she's being honored. The next person that they announced was Salt-N-Peppa. Now, Salt-N-Peppa, they were actually honored back in 2005, but they will be honored again. You know, Salt-N-Peppa along with Spinderella. So, you know, Salt-N-Peppa, they are another, you know, one of the few groups in hip-hop that, you know, definitely set the standards, especially for females. And the last one, which was announced today, was none other than the Queen Bee herself, Lil Kim. Y'all know Brooklyn is about to go crazy. When the Hip Hop Honors was first announced, a lot of people was like, they need to honor Lil Kim. They need to honor her. So y'all were right, and she's definitely being honored this year. Y'all know that she's on the Bad Boy Family reunion tour that is going down this summer, and, you know, I'm just happy for her. So those are all of the honorees. If you guys did not remember from the last time, I let you know that the Hip Hop Honors will be airing live here from New York City on July 11th, and I will definitely be there to watch, and I will come back and I will talk about it. But moving on to our next beat of this week, which is our fourth beat of this week. This was making news because this happened yesterday, and it's been an ongoing discussion I see even into today. And what I'm talking about is BET recently they put out, I think it was like a tweet or something like that, where I don't know who the hell was tweeting from their account, but they put out a tweet basically saying that Rihanna's Anti album is greater than Beyonce's Lemonade album. Now, I just want to go on record and say that both of them were definitely two highly anticipated albums, without a doubt. Like I said, prior to Anti dropping, Rihanna ain't released an album since my freshman year at college. So, you know, then which was unapologetic. So I was sitting here waiting, like, so when Rihanna dropping a new album? Beyonce, you know, Beyonce don't say a goddamn thing when it comes to new music. She just dropping when she feel like it. So, you know, everybody was coming for Beyonce like, girl, when we get in that new music? So these were definitely two highly anticipated albums this year. And, you know, you got the Beehive and you got the Navy. Now, the way I look at it is that they're gangs. I look at them as gangs. I look at the Beehive and the Navy as gangs. Gang banging is not a good thing. People frown upon gang banging. But when it comes to the Navy and the Beehive, you know, it's okay to gang bang for Beyonce and Rihanna. You know, it's cool. It's cool. People don't frown upon that. But, you know, the Beehive and the Navy, they've been going at it. People have been having discussions on whether or not Rihanna was better than Beyonce's, or people was like, you crazy, Beyonce's better than Rihanna. And first and foremost, whoever tweeted that tweet from BET's account, God bless your heart, because you just started a war on social media. So I just want to give my 2 cents about what I think about both albums. What I will say is I feel like it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare because Rihanna and Beyonce are absolutely two different artists. There is no way in hell that you could compare these two other than their connection to Jay-Z. You know, Beyonce, she's Mrs. Carter, and then, you know, Jay-Z, he signed Rihanna to Def Jam back in the day, and now she's under Roc Nation, both as an artist and she's managed by them. Those are the only connections I could ever make between Rihanna and Beyonce, which is their connections to Jay-Z and all of this other stuff. I will say Rihanna, I feel like it's more party music. Excuse me. I feel like it's more party music on Inside. With my generation, I feel like people can resonate more with what Rihanna was talking about on her, you know, album, because like we're more closer in age. I definitely enjoyed Rihanna's Lemonade. If you guys saw me and Bria's, I'm sick, y'all, I'm sorry. Me and Bria's reaction video to Lemonade. But one thing I did say, and I had mentioned before to somebody, was that even though I love Beyonce's album, I feel like me personally, in my real life, I cannot relate to any of the songs really, except probably for like Formation or Freedom. I like Freedom, like, but more so like the whole concept of the album, which is like the whole relationship and he cheated and forgiveness and all of this other stuff. I cannot relate to that, but I'll sing those songs without a doubt, because Beyonce's vocals is crazy. Like this, when you talk about Rihanna and Beyonce, those are two different vocal ranges. Like there's just no comparison between the two, and that's just that. So, but I feel like Beyonce, like when she puts her things together, not saying that Rihanna doesn't do this, like the whole body of work, but she goes above and beyond. She goes past music to bring you a whole visual. Me, I can't choose. Like, they released at two different times, so there was absolutely no way that these two albums were competing with one another when they released. Look, that was a bad, who tweeted that shit? Like, come on, like that's bad. That got me thinking. I thought I had my thoughts, you know, panned out before I press record, but I just can't choose. Like, I just feel like they're two different artists, two different vocal abilities. I feel like the concepts of the albums, two different messages. I mean, these are two different age groups. Like, they're both on tour at the same time. So I don't know. I like both. I like freaking both. Like, and 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, when the 2017 Grammys pop up, they both gonna be nominated, and that's just the end of it. I can't choose, and I'm not gonna have the Navy nor the Beehive coming for me, and that's just that. And shame on the person that tweeted that. But other than that, I'm going to move on to my last beat of this week. And speaking of Beyonce, I have to talk about her Formation World Tour. Now, unfortunately, Beyonce, her Formation World Tour was in New York last week, and I wasn't there, and I was absolutely devastated. But now the first leg of the American tour, or the first American leg, is now over. Beyonce, she's out of America, or she's on her way out of America, and she's about to head overseas for her shows there. Her first show overseas is June 28th, and then she will return back here to the States on September 7th, I believe. Yeah, September 7th. So her last show here with the first leg of the American stops was in Detroit. And one thing she did while she was in Detroit, she donated $82,000 to the Flint water crisis, and that was with the help of the Beehive. A lot of the people who attended, you know, Beyonce shows, they had the option to, you know, donate to Flint, you know, when they purchased their tickets and stuff like that. So with the collaboration of the Beehive, Chimes for Change, and CrowdRise, they came up with $82,000 for, and Beyonce donated that to like the Flint water crisis. And you know, I'm just upset I missed it, but she's coming back, so I have another chance, so I have to be there, I feel. And aside from that, you know, DJ Khaled, he was on tour with her as well, and you know, he wrote this very lengthy message to her on Instagram, just basically thanking her for making his dreams come true when it comes to being on tour with her and all of that. And I'm just upset that I missed it. That's the whole moral of the story. I'm upset that I missed it. So, but other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so I'm going to thank you for tuning into this week's video. And of course, you know, I have to end every single video by reminding you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and share. It would greatly be appreciated. I have 2 quick notes to leave you guys with this week. And my first note is I have to let you guys know that YG's sophomore album, Still Brazy, is available today. Right now, while I'm recording this, it's Thursday the 16th. But when you guys see this, it will be Friday the 17th. So his sophomore album will be out. I heard that it was out earlier this week, but I know the official release date is today, Friday the 17th. I have his debut album, My Brazy Life, and I love it, so I'm excited to see what he does with his sophomore album. And my second beat of this week, I have to let you know that the first trailer of the Tupac biopic is finally out, and today is actually Tupac's birthday. Today he would have been 45 years old, and I'm excited for this. You know, it's definitely been a long time coming. You know, there had, you know, been several directors trying to get it together, but finally the movie is complete and we have our first trailer. So yeah. And you know, I have to leave you with my song of the week, and like I said, today is Tupac's birthday, so I feel like it's only right that I make my song of the week one of my favorite Tupac songs, which is I Get Around. Now, I don't get around, but you know, whatever, that's definitely one of my favorite Tupac songs. So other than that, I will see you guys next week, so bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.